they did not live before. The ones that affected Pastor Bug, who came to Grand Rapids and affected so many. Those that have came and spoke and ministered into my father's life. And some of your families have all been touched in some way. These are not those who have lived before. These are those that live. Because eternity is in the hearts of man. Because God created us in the image of God. And He created us as those who will live forever. John 5:28 and 29 says, "Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in which all that are in their graves shall hear His voice, and shall come forth, that they have done good into the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation." This is the truth. God is the living, God of the living, and we are connected to them. It also says, listen to this one. The woman came into the hospital and she was clenching her teeth in pain. And as she leaned against the door, she says, "I can't believe that guy did that to me. Oh, man." They brought her into a room, and the pain was so intense. She was wondering if blood had made it, blood had spilled anywhere. But those that brought her into the room, time kept marching on. She wished she could hit pause for a moment. The pain was so intense. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Man, if I could roll back time. What did I do to deserve this? And after a little while, a cry came out of the room. But it wasn't a cry of a woman in pain. It was a little baby who let out their first yelp. Some of the things we experience in life that we think are so terrible, that after a little time goes by, you go, I see there's some wisdom in this. There's something good. John 16:21, when a woman is in labor, she has pain, because her hour has come. But when she gives birth to the child, she no longer remembers the anguish because of the joy that a child has been born into the world. If we were to consider and look at the life of Joseph, how he was promised things. How many of you thought that God had promised you things would happen in your life? And you, instead, all of you had is problems and struggles. Where's the promises of God? Joseph was sold by his brothers to a traveling caravan. Never saw his father for years. Sold as a slave into Egypt. And then things kept getting worse. Then he was falsely accused, thrown into prison in a foreign country. Where's God? Where's the God who had given him dreams in the night? That he would be a person of significance. That he would have an impact on his family. But if we roll further on in history, his story, Joseph's story, he was raised to be, at the right time, ruler of all of Egypt. You've all seen the movie, right? Or at least have read the story from the Bible. A person who looked like everything was going wrong, and he did not understand the events in his life at the moment. But if we wait a little bit, if we allow history to unfold, God will bring good out of all the struggles. And everything God has promised He will do for you, and the effect you will have, will come true. Finally, a famine had come in Egypt. And Joseph, who happened to be in charge of all the granaries, all the wealth of Egypt, had his brothers who had sold him into slavery show up wanting grain. And you know all the different meetings that they had. You can study it in Genesis 49 and 50. But finally, when he did the great reveal that he was really their brother, and they were very afraid because they thought, oh no, our day has come. He's going to end up this most powerful man in the then known world under Pharaoh. He's going to definitely kill us. But he answered them this way in Genesis 50 verse 20. As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. God planned it. God designed it in order to bring about this present result, to preserve many people alive. You don't know what God has in store for you. And you need to end up looking backwards in time and thank God for your heritage. And God, who ended up starting this world spinning and putting one quotation on time before He puts the other quotation and finishes this cycle forever, throwing away watches in heaven because we will live where death can no longer steal, where pain no longer nags and causes the day to drag on. Between these parentheses, time, do not think that God does not see or care. Know that He will accomplish your purpose in life. Know that He will answer the prayers of your parents. He will answer your prayer for your children. And if the Lord tarries, your children's children. God is the God of history. And you are part of it. You don't understand all this stuff. And I'm not going to trivialize. Some of you have lost loved ones. I think of Molly and Doug, who recently lost a little baby at 43 days. And I heard Molly say, why? I'd like to know why. That's not wrong to wonder. Because Molly knows after wrestling in the struggle of some of the things you're going through, she laid down her case and said, I would like to know why now, but I will not know why. But I will trust in the God who is writing history, and He's writing it in my life. God loves you. God cares for you. And God will accomplish inside of you, and then someday He will make it clear to you. In the meantime, trust, trust. The man was beaten brutally. Blood flowed from his head. This is wrong, that they should end up taking an innocent person and brutalize him this way. And his mother, she shouldn't have to watch him die with her hands covered in her face. Didn't God say that this child would be the hope?